Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's the first of the month. It is time to budget. It's time to budget these November numbers. It's November the 1st. We need to really jump in, lock in with these budgets. And I want to tell y'all about a decision that almost wrecked my budget. It almost wrecked my budget. And I had to go back and rethink some things because I don't want to be reckless in my spending. I don't want to be reckless in what the Lord has given me to steward over. And it can very easily become one of those things that hey ma'am, how are you? It's one of those things where I'm thinking, hey ma'am, do I want to make this decision or do I need to make a different decision? So it's budget day. I was in my car just a little bit ago and I got not a telephone call, but I got a text message. Hey y'all, thank you for joining me. And the text message said, hey, Miss Shakema, I'll read it to you because I almost wrecked my budget, y'all. I'm telling y'all the truth. It was like, good afternoon, Miss Shakema. Do you still want your deep cleaning for November? I can do tomorrow or next Saturday at 8 a.m. And that was the cleaning lady. So many of you may know, may not know, twice a year, I usually will have somebody come in. Hey, Kim. I usually have somebody come in and deep clean my house. Not clean it regularly cleaning, but a deep, thorough, like a long process clean, baseboards, all the things. And typically I do that in, hey, Miss Rose, typically I do that in Lisa. And if I missed anybody, hey, y'all, typically I do that in November because I get a supplement in November. And then I'll do it again. Hey, Miss Robin, I'll do it again in April because I get a supplement in April. So I technically would have a little bit of extra money to go ahead and have somebody come in and do all the things that I don't want to do or don't have time to do. And when that message came through, my first mind was, I don't have the money. I can't afford it. And the reason being is because I had some other expenses come up, some things that I had to do. So I had to spend in different places and I'm putting back from those places. And the Lord was very specific with me right before this paycheck. He said, we're getting on this savings bandwagon. You know how you go around the mountain till she comes, honey? This mountain I've been on for a long time trying to get this 3 to 6 month emergency fund saved up, fully funded. And it's year after year. It's not even month after month or week after week. This is year after year. And I'm saying to myself, Shakema, what part are you missing? There's some type of a psychologicalness that is keeping me from reaching this goal. It is attainable. I've probably had that much money pass through my hands over all these many years that if I would have just been a better steward, I could have had it saved. Jackson's what, 15 now? In the last 14 years, I could have had it by then. But it's reckless behavior. It's psychologically, I'm not going to have something, so I may as well spend the money. Or I work hard, I can spend my money on what I want. And the truth of the matter is this. I have a goal in mind. And with that goal in mind, I need to be a better steward over it. So I said to her, I said, no, ma'am, it's just not in my budget this month. And I left it at that. But then I thought, but this is her livelihood. This is what she does for work. And you're taking money out of her pocket by refusing the service. And I was texting her back because I had a little bit of money put to the side that I could just do a regular clean, not a deep clean, just a regular clean. And it will really come in handy because next week is Friendsgiving. And I'm going to have people from all over coming in my house. And I really, really, really need somebody to come in and help do some things. But then I'm like, you know what? As soon as I was getting ready to text that, I untexted it because, again, I got to go back to being that good steward that God has told me or keeps talking to me about. Use what's in your hand. And while it is her livelihood, she has lots of clients. I'm not like one of that she needs. I'm just a fill-in client. I'm just a every 6 months client. I'm not one of her, my sister gets her house cleaned every month. I'm not that. It's once every 6 months. And it just didn't work out for me. Another thing that came up this weekend last year, I was in Indiana at a conference, at a pastor's conference, and that conference was happening again. And I was looking, and so by the time I would get the plane, rent the car for 3 days, do the hotel for 3 days, eat, have offering, all of the things that I want to do when I go to a pastor's conference. Would you turn that heater on, babe? My feet are cold. All the things I would want to do at a pastor's conference is beyond my reach. And so I texted Shakema. I said, hey, do you have any points that I could book a flight? And she didn't have any because she had just went on a trip. And I was like, Shakema, if you're trying so hard to get to this place and it is not feasible, now that doesn't mean not stepping out in faith, because I could step out in faith, but there's also stepping out in stupid, right? You just don't have the money for this time. And I didn't feel a tug on my heart. I didn't feel a pull. I didn't feel like, oh my God, I got to be there. Last year I felt that, and I had what I needed for last year. But this year came and I saw, all the things for it come. And I was like, you know what? It's not working out. And so I forwent that trip. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who know me as a pastor, I don't get a salary. Every week we do Titus 2 Women. I don't take up an offering. There are two ladies, I'm going to say this because it's the truth, two ladies who every single month give to the ministry. They give what they can, and I'm thankful for that. And every single month, there may be something that happens that we need to give to. I always tithe off of that, but I don't have an income that comes into the ministry that I can just, go off and travel. I have to either preach somewhere and I get paid, get a love offering from that, and I put it to the side, or I'm using my own money. And so this was that situation, using my own money where I didn't have extra. There is money in that account, but there's no extra for that. It's about $1,000 when you look at the plane. Well, it was a little bit more than that because the plane was like $487 just for the round trip. And sometimes I think when people are planning things, they don't think far enough in advance to give people time to plan, because I don't live here. I have to come from out of town. And even if I drove, it's a lot of hours. Gas, stopping, all that. And I didn't want to do any of that. So I didn't. I took one on the chin, took it for the team. They're streaming it. I can watch in. It's not the same as being there, but it is, right? So I didn't want to be frivolous with my spending, because there are some serious goals that I have in 2020, the end of 2024 into 25. So anywho, y'all, we got our bonus, a supplement, and I wanted to share kind of how the numbers are shaking out, because if I stick to the plan that I put on my budget, we should be fairly good for this next month, for November. Now, I do have Friendsgiving coming up, and I do have some sinking funds that I still have to sink. And as of yet, I am not still recovered from those other, from the decrease in social media. I was on one social media platform this morning, and in my bank, right, because until you make a certain amount, it doesn't pay out, I have $7.07. And that's from 3 months of posting. Over the last 3 months, 90 days, it has accrued to $7.07. It's one of the reasons why I say this is a side job for me. It's not my regular job. I have a job that pays my bills, because if I waited for social media to pay my bills, it just wouldn't pay it. So I go to work every single day, love what I do, love the people I work with, love my students, love all that. And that takes care of the necessaries. So when I have things like my supplement come in, then I'm able to kind of move a little bit more free or put monies where it needs to go in order to be able to save. So we're going to jump right in. If you have questions, put it in the chat. Tomorrow you're getting a grocery haul. I promise, because I'm uploading it right now. That's how I know. Well, it's uploaded. So you're going to get a grocery haul tomorrow. But right now, okay, so we're going to jump right in. If you have, okay, we are going to, let me see. Uh-oh. All right, let's see. Y'all, I'm trying to do something on here. Can I just tell you, when you're trying to do stuff and you really, okay. YouTube gives you all these things and it's like, I don't know how to use half this stuff, but I'm gonna keep trying. Ma'am, child, can I just tell you? Anywho, I'm gonna jump in and share with you the budget sheet so that you can kind of see where we are for the month, right? Now, it's very important. Do those budgets, y'all. Even if you don't stick to the budget, even if for some reason you get off, I was off a lot in the very beginning, but through time and through consistency, it worked for me. It happened for me, okay? All right, so I'm going to share with you my personal budget sheet. Now, this is what we have for the month of November. Now, you're going to see One Mom affiliate revenue that I started putting back on here because it's not very much to even separate it out. Okay, my YouTube money, I'm still separating out over to something else, but I'm trying to keep it all on one sheet. It's just easier to navigate it in these streets that we're currently in, which is fine. So my payroll came in at $5,985.72. I think that was my regular pay at 55, 95, 85, something like that. And then I had my supplement that came in at $3,600. Now, I've been teaching 26 years. And when you're at that level in my county, it actually ends up being $7,200 a year, but they divide it into two parts, right before Christmas and right before the end of the school year. And so adding into that, I had $90.32. Now, this was an affiliate link. This was not well, it was some work that I had to do. So I have affiliate links, right? And when I do reels for this particular company, I'll do a reel and then I post that reel. When I post the reel using my share code, it will give me a certain amount of money per post. It will also give me a certain amount of money per referral link. So if I refer you and you grab the link, it'll give me $2, I think. Then if somebody else makes an order, I think I get $2. And if you get your order on time, I get another $1 or something like that. So I can post the same content on different platforms and it'll give me $15 each time. But it's a long review process. So I have to film the content, upload the content into the affiliate platform. They review it. Then they'll tell me if I got the bonus or not. And then there's a waiting period. So for the month of October, because it does it every 30 days, every 28 days, I got $90.32. I did 3 videos. I posted those to Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and YouTube. So 4 places, but they only count 3. I don't think they count Facebook at all. But I just post it anywhere. And then I was able to make some money from that. Now, last month I made twice that, or I made like $172. So I'm just learning this. I'm just learning this particular platform and the affiliate and how it works out. And so I was a little bit less. But what I figured is by the time I do my tithe and offering off of this, that's $75 that I now can put towards my sinking funds. The most important sinking fund that I have is my car insurance. I must make sure that I have enough money coming in that I can pay my car insurance. So that's what I try to budget for. So I have that money coming in. Now I have another affiliate link that is supposed to pay out on the 7th of November. There was some issues with getting paid, always had issues. So they switched their platforms, but on the new platform, it was a 45-day waiting period before you could get paid. And so I'm looking in there now. I have money in holding and money that is due to be paid. And it's about another $95, which that should totally fund my car insurance. So that hasn't come in yet. It'll come in next week and I'll put it there. Travel reimbursements, I don't have any of those. I don't have any unexpected gifts or blessings or any funds being transferred between accounts, right? That's perfectly fine. What we have is what we have. That totals us down at $6,076.04, which is a blessing from the Lord. It only is that because of that supplement. Typically, I bring home about $3,370 some dollars or 90 some dollars. I never bring home any more than that in my regular paycheck. So this includes my supplement. Now, moving down into expenses. So my mortgage is $1,000. It's actually $957.73. I actually end up paying $42.27 over to principal. And when I went on this today to pay my mortgage, what I realized is that my payoff amount is now $1,000 less than it was last month. So a little bit towards the principal every time is causing that bottom line, that payoff, to be less and less. And I believe that the Lord is going to help me pay my house off before 30 years. We've been in the house officially 8 years, and God's going to help us pay this house off before 30 years or sell it for a very good profit to be able to invest with my husband when God sends him to. The utilities, I paid that today, but I paid that from the business account. My water and sewer, I did not pay because I actually forgot to do it. And I need to do that. I'll probably do it after this live because I can just pay it online. And then my cell phone, I will pay that today. So that's going to be another $174 that will have to go out of my account, which is perfectly fine. Because again, those 3 bills I used to pay with my social media, with my One Mom Revenue and affiliate. It is not like that anymore. They have totally 100% decreased the amount of ways you can make money or how often you can make it or whatever the case is. So I just did a challenge for super chats where if you do a super chat, if I make a certain amount in 30 minutes, I'll do a Q&A, because now, different platforms are giving you ways to make money. They're not doing it the way it was before, unless I guess you have a ton of views. In the grand scheme of where we are in YouTube, we're really, really a small channel. If minute 55,000 subscribers seems like a lot to me, but when I only get 235 views, that doesn't pay out much. Now, the reason that it's just changed so much is, I guess, because some people are really doing very well, exceptional. It's very good. Again, this is a side income. This is not my main income. And I know that maybe some people don't want to hear me talk about it. I apologize. I don't know how else to give you the real shakedown if I don't tell you the real shakedown, because this is just what it is. But I love my job and it pays what I need it to pay, right? Okay, so I have to pay those couple of things. My internet, I did not pay that yet. So my water bill, cell phone bill for myself and Jackson, that actually went up for some reason. I think it's like $105 now. I can't remember why Shabika said it went up, but it did go up. and my internet is $95. So those three things would be a little bit over 200, close to $300. And it's going to really put me tight until some child support starts coming in, because really this is the max of the budget, right? Once I start go down a little bit more. Household repairs, which is a sinking fund, is $50. Moving on down, I have Mr. Jerome. Now we're in the final cut of the season. I typically get my last cuts in October, but when he came last time, I forgot to leave the money for him. And so we kept trying to figure it out where I could bring it to him, and it did not work out. So he said, well, I'll just get it next time I come cut the grass. Not thinking, okay, sure, Mr. Jerome, we're done in October. So now he's cutting in November. It's perfectly fine. We have Friendsgiving coming up. I want the yard to look nice, because prayerfully we can do it outside. It's supposed to be 70 degrees. I want the yard to look nice for the people coming. But this will be the last cuts of the season until April of 25. That's $120 for 2 cuts. My pest control yearly spray and recycle renewal is $54. Those are all sinking funds, which I will fund as more money comes in. But right now, I don't have the money to fund those, because I'm still just trying to finish funding my car insurance. That's the most important sinking fund I have at the moment, is my car insurance. Whatever else don't get sank, I'll figure that out down the line. But my very priority is the car insurance. So once I get that paid, I'll go down the list of sinking funds and I'll start funding those little by little. Moving down, Roth IRA 75. I think I'm just going to wait till 2025 to start working on that, because it just never works out. Amazon Prime is 13. PureFlix is 11. I haven't done any of those sinking funds just yet. Healthways Gym is 29. I haven't done that yet. And Jackson's Gym will come out his gym will come out Tuesday. It comes out on the 5th and the 21st, $21 each. Okay, moving down, Jackson's clothing fund is $50. That comes out of the very first child support we get. Since today is November the 1st, we haven't gotten child support for November yet. So when next week rolls around, we will have child support, and I'll be able to allocate monies for Jackson. My camera or my new phone is $20, but that's a sinking fund. Again, I haven't sank that. So I went to look for a new phone that will offer me way more storage and a clearer camera picture. And just to walk out with the phone, it would be $300 in store. Now, I have never one time ever put money down on a phone. I've just got my phone, they put it on my account or whatever, and I paid it off. But just to walk out of the store, it will cost me $300. And I said, well, I'll do it when I get my supplement. But going back, making the best conscious choices for me, it was to not do my supplement. I mean, not to get the phone yet. What I figured is, and I believe the Holy Spirit gave me this. Thank you, Holy Spirit. If I wait till December, they may have some deals, right? Of course, they may have some deals towards the Black Friday, but generally towards the end of the year, the last week of the year, whatever, they're trying to get as much of the old stuff out. I have an iPhone 11. They're now at the 16. Anything I get would be an upgrade to what I have, but what I have works for me, if that makes any sense. It's not a have to have, it's a want to have for the sake of better filming quality. And then the new phone, because I did get all the information, right? The new phone would allow me to have 2 numbers. I could have my regular number for my family, friends, business, household stuff. And then I could have a separate number for my business line. So if people needed to call me for the ministry, or people needed to call me if I was making collab deals and that kind of thing, I would be able to have a business number from that one particular, even from that one cell phone. I could have two numbers. That was new to me, but I just told the lady I would come back. I didn't make any commitments, because I just didn't have the money to lay down right then. Do I have the money? Yes. Do I want to part ways with it? I don't, because I'm working on some savings goals. See, and they be doing too much. They just be doing too much, because I've never done that before. And they're like, oh, this phone is $1,200, but we're going to give you an automatic $400 off, and it's still got to pay $800. I'm like, what in the world kind of phone is $1,200? What in the world? But I think they have us over a rock and a hard place, because we got to have phones, right? That's just how it is. You need a phone. You got to have it. But if I use that as my main camera source, then I don't have to keep saving for the camera. The phone would suffice. We'll see how it goes. But I know it was a no-go today. It was something I could not do today, and I didn't stress over it. I didn't worry about it. I just went on with my life. The emergency fund. So I'm still working on that 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and I needed, not wanted, I needed, for safety reasons, safety's sake, to put $1,000 there. If I didn't need to put money there, I could have had the deep clean. I could have had the phone, and there would have been some change left over to go to Costco and do your fill-ins and all that. But I needed to put that money into savings. It just would make me feel better that there's something floating around in case there were any issues that came up. Moving down, groceries. This month I did, typically I do $400 in groceries. This month I did $300 in groceries, but I've divided that. So I'm only doing $200 for groceries, and I'm putting $100 automatically to savings. I know most people would say, Shakema, you always go over your budget. I do, but I'm not going to keep doing that, because I have food in the fridge, in the kitchen. We are buying the barest essentials, the minimalist. When you see my first grocery haul tomorrow, you'll be like, ooh, you didn't get much. And I did not. But because I'm trying to keep it to a very small budget, because I need to bolster up my savings. My summer groceries off top, $100. And then, y'all, for my preps is $50 still, but Azure Standard. So I am ordering from Azure Standard now. I'm not doing $1,000 bulk order. That's not my life. I don't have that many children to do that. But Jackson bakes a ton. And I'm buying flour and sugar and yeast and all these things, because every day of life, Jackson comes home and he's baking something. And so I thought it might be most beneficial if I were to be able to buy his flour and his yeast and his sugars, maybe even honey, because we were trying to find, Alana and I were trying to find honey the other day. There's no honey in this house. Jackson has used all the honey to feed his yeast. So we don't have that. And then he uses a ton of butter. So we go through butter like crazy because he's baking all the time. And there's a particular Parmesan cheese that I like. So I ordered that because I like to make a homemade pesto. So as we are going through, I'm trying to pick and pull the things that I need to buy in bulk. Now, a lot of people would say, don't buy flour in bulk because you won't use it. Jackson bakes something every day, every single day. He gets the KitchenAid mixer out. There's dough in my refrigerator right now in a Ziploc bag, waiting for him to do something with it. I think he might have cooked it yesterday. But for him, it's necessary. I don't have a grain mill, so I'm not buying wheat berries. I'm just buying flour, or I'm buying the yeast in enough. We'll freeze it or whatever, keep it in the freezer so that it will not go bad. But he uses this stuff every day. So I am doing Azure Standard. If you are thinking about it, jumping off and trying it, there is a code in the description box below. It'll give you something off, and it'll also funnel me over in an affiliate credit towards my purchases. Eating out and entertaining. So this is not a typical category that we have, but Friendsgiving is coming up. Now we have a lot of stuff already secured. We have the chicken. I've got the pork because we're doing taco nachos. So we're doing ground chicken taco meat. We're doing pork for like carne asada meat. and I need to go and buy some beef because people may want choice. So I'm going to buy some beef, which I don't have now, but I will get it, and I will cook that up. Every meat will have its own crock pot. And then there are a couple things that I might need to get, like some of those bowls for just your tacos. We have silverware, cutlery, all that stuff. I need some pans, some silver throwaway pans, some foil, just little odds and end bits. And I wanted to have a little bit of money put aside to get those little odd and end bits. So I just took money and put it there. Moving down, for personal care. Okay, Jackson has to get a haircut tomorrow. That's at least $30. I got my nails done today. That was $35, and I gave a $5 tip. And I just got to fill in. I didn't get anything deep or whatever. It's just a fill in. And so 2 haircuts for Jackson and 1 nails for mom for the month. Moving down, my P.O. box is $17. I have nothing in clothing because I'm working currently with 3 clothing brands that each month I get at minimum 6 dresses or 6 outfits. This month so far, I've gotten 16 outfits, and I just ordered 2 more. So as I'm continuing to work with brands, I just get stuff for me, so I don't have to incur clothing costs. Jackson's dad sends child support, so I buy his clothes, and sister's responsible for her own clothing because she works. Dr. Dentist. Now, let me just speak briefly about the dentist. I went in the other day to have a cleaning. Cleaning's totally paid for, no problem. When I left, I have started having some sensitivity. I'm praying over this tooth. If y'all know the words of prayer, pray my strength in the Lord. I have some sensitivity in one of my bottom teeth. It's underneath a crown. I have been hesitant to call the dentist because I don't want to crack my crown because the crowns were expensive. I have multiple crowns, but I believe that there is something that might not be happy underneath the crown. So I've been praying and asking the Lord, listen, God, you can heal me, because I don't believe God wants me to be spending all my money. He don't want me to be in pain either, but he can heal me. And so I believe it's just agitated. I know sometimes it takes a while for crowns to settle, but I was having some heat, cold sensitivity, which just kind of tells me that's something different, because I've had that before and I had to go in and have a root canal. So at the moment, I'm hoping I can hold out till January because my benefits roll over in January. And if I need to get a root canal, I'll have benefits for it. At current, I'm out of benefits for the year because I did have a root canal in the beginning of the year sometime. I can't remember when. But I'm trying to not incur medical if I can help it, right? And then I do have a flex benefit spending card, but I think that I have used it either for Jackson or dentist or something. I think I've used up all my flex benefits for the year. They roll over again, I think, in January. They roll in January. The flex card. I might be wrong. No, I think it rolls in January. So again, even if I have to get some work done, I'll have my flex card to be able to get it done by then. So I'm just very ginger on this side. I kind of eat over here. I don't bother with it too much. It's all going to be well. Moving down, I didn't put any money in the supplemental category, although my Mago 7 is running out. So I will probably have to get something in the next 2 weeks or so. I should be okay till then. Vacation or travel. This is where I would have money accrued to go to trips and things, even if that's with my kids or whatever the case. But we went to California in May, at the end of May. And so that took quite a bit of expense. All of us, the rental car, we stayed with Shakema, so we didn't have hotel, but the rental car, the flights, the food, back and forth with gas, all that. So I just don't have anything accrued. I will be saving up because I'm going on a pastor's conference that I am in the pastor's network in February. So I'll need to save money for that. So that was more the precedent over this November trip, February, and then I have another trip in July for pastors. And then there is one in September. Titus 2 women will be meeting in September. We were going to do June, but we're meeting in Texas, and June in Texas is hot. So we're thinking we'll do it in September. This next one down is for Jackson's savings. In November and December, I don't save for Jackson anymore. I take his savings money and put it into a Christmas account so that he has money to buy gifts for whomever he needs to buy gifts for. And so I've done that for the last couple of years, even when sister was still getting child support, and they loved having their own money. So I figured I save for him 10 months of the year. The next 2, it's really like 7 weeks that he can have money for gifts. So it's not mom's money. He can have ownership over that. And he has his debit card now. So I put that in his cash account so that he can actually, make his purchases that way. $150 went for Gracie and Queenie. Now, the reason I had to up theirs is because about every 6th week they need food. I get 1 big bag of food. They eat the same thing. Queenie is now considered an adult dog because she's over a year. So I get them the same food and it works out perfectly. But Gween has fluffy butt. And what that means is she needs to be groomed. She's never been groomed since we've had her over a year. She doesn't grow really a lot. I keep her nails trimmed, but she needs a groom. Her butt's a little fluffed. And Lana was like, Mom, why is her butt fluffy? I said, well, she probably just needs it shaved. And I don't have the equipment here to do it. And so I've gotten her an appointment for next week to get her butt shaved. Mama will not 100% go to the groomer. She will not let anybody touch her. And so God has been very gracious in the fact that Gracie just doesn't grow. Her fur does not grow. Her nails need trimming every other month. They probably need them every month, but she acts a monkey in the vet, so I don't even do it. It's $20 to get her nails trimmed, but it is an act of Congress to get her to the vet. But Gwen is much better. She is perfect, so I can take her. But I've set aside money for that and for the food, which I just purchased yesterday. And I also got a sweet treat because Gracie's birthday is today. Gracie's 8 years old. Moving down. I know this is long, y'all. I'm sorry. Jackson's global cash account. I try to keep some money in there for him. Jackson's 15, and sometimes he goes to places and other people have, money to spend and he doesn't have any. And so we got this account. He can't overspend the account. He doesn't have any, he doesn't have a savings account that will take overages. So he can only spend what's in there, which gives him a little bit of control with his card, but it also it helps him to be accountable to what's in that account. And so because Dad sends a little bit, I just put a few dollars here and a few dollars there. I usually give him about $40 a month, and he spends it at the grocery store. Trust me, because he bakes up there. Okay, gas, $200, but $150 of that I'm using for gas. So $37.50 a week, and $50 is going into automatic savings. Now, prior to this year, I had to drive an extended amount of time to get to my different schools. One of my schools, my farthest school, has now been taken away from me, not taken away in a bad. We hired another person, and that school just happens to be in the district where she lives. And so she was happy to take that school and where she was in her previous job. So she knows all the parents, she knows the kids, her kids came up through the system. So she is in her perfect spot. And that brings me closer to my schools. So I'm not having to drive as far. So I can get away with less gas per week because I'm now going to just 2 schools instead of 3 schools since we have a third person. Excellent for us. And so I want to increase my savings. I have to increase that savings. It is so vital that my savings begins to move up, that I am taking money off of my gas just to put in savings. And it's not money to frivolously spend. It's money to save. It is absolutely 100% essential that I put money into savings. Oil change, I just had one done. I had my inspection done in September. So I'm starting over with all of my things. $20 for oil change, $16 for tires, and then $147 for my registration and my car insurance. That is a must. Okay. That still says sister match, car match money. I need to change that again. I'm going to be saving for mom a new car. Within the next year or two, Jackson will need a car. And so what my thoughts is, because I drive a Toyota, and Toyotas are very excellent vehicles. And actually, because I drive less, I don't have as many miles as I had on my previous two cars. I was thinking to give Jackson my car for a small fee that I've been saving up for him. And then I would get a car. But I got to be able to save enough to have money to put down for a car. If that doesn't happen, then Jackson doesn't get a car right now unless he buys it himself. So I pretty much take him wherever he needs, or sister will take him. So he really doesn't have to have a vehicle. But as he gets ready for college, because he's a year early, he will need something after he graduates next year. So he's got the rest of this year for school. And then next year, Jackson will be a senior at 16. So he'll graduate a month after he turns 17. So he will need something depending on where he decides for college. So just some things that I'm thinking about. $9.25 was my tithe, because that is how much my entire paycheck was off the gross. So I tithe off the gross. I don't tithe off the net. You and the Lord take that up with yourselves. And then for my extra ministry was $470. Now, a lot of people would say, but Shakema, you give so much to the church. I do, and God takes care of me, and that's non-negotiable. Moving down, Christmas. I use a Christmas fund for my kids, for all of my kids, Shamika, Trandon, Alana, Jackson, and my son-in-law, Keith. Everybody gets something. There was once upon a time when I didn't have any money to put towards gifts for my kids. Now that the Lord has blessed me to be able to have a right mind with my savings and how to manage my money, to be a good steward, I can make sure that everybody gets something. So out of that 1,000, all 5 of those kids will get something. And then there's a couple of families that we do gift exchanges with. Alana usually takes care of the little girls. Mom takes care of the adult parents, and Jackson gets gifts for the little boys or the guys. They're all big now. They're not little anymore. We started this years ago when they were really little. So we all have our gift exchanges, and then I exchange with my sister, and I exchange with my best friend, Kelly. And so that 1,000 is enough money to do all of those things. The kids, most of them have asked for cash, except Alana. Alana likes gifts, so I'm going to buy all her stuff. She likes gifts. But everybody else has asked for cash. And of course, I'll probably buy gifts for Jackson too. Because there are a couple of culinary things he wants that he needs, because he's really good at his culinary. He'll be a culinary 3 student in January. Which is getting on up there in levels. So anywho, there it is, all totaled $6,638.08. Now, if I go back up, so far I have $6,076.04. So I'm just off by about $500-ish, which once child support comes in, that'll be some, because some of those things I don't fund yet. Like Jackson's money, all of his stuff will come out of the child support. I'll get one more little bump from that one affiliate link that's coming in. So that'll be the car insurance. And then I have all of November to work with that other affiliate company, because I've got a couple things coming from them. I just have to post some videos and they will approve the videos. And of course, since Black Friday's coming, I'll try to do as much as I can to post as much as I can to hopefully make some extra bucks. So anywho, that is the budget for the month of November. Now, I just have to say this because it is important, y'all. You have to get those budgets done. It is essential that you get, especially around holiday time, because holiday time, we start having emotional spending. We start having stressful spending. We start having guilt parent spending, and you're spending all this money. And before you know it, you're out of money. You're in debt. You've used credit cards and all the things. Now, I have one credit card. Yes, I do. What do you use it for, Shakema? Traveling. If I'm traveling anywhere, I put it on my credit card, but I have saved up for it. So couldn't I have went on the pastor's trip and just put it on your credit card? No, ma'am, because I didn't save for it prior. I put it on the card to get the points. But if I don't have the money saved up, I don't do it, because when I get back and I get the bill, then what I've saved, I automatically move that over to pay off the credit card. I didn't have any saved up, so that's why I didn't take the trip, if that makes any sense. I know somebody had mentioned about doing a wrap up for the month. I try, y'all. I have so many things going on in my life right now that this is the best I can do, is what I can do. It would be lovely for me to sit down and just go back through all the things and tell you all the wrap ups. I did pay my mortgage today, so you didn't see that on the sheet because I didn't have time to update it, but I paid it at the end of business day today. I paid that. And in a minute, I'm going to go in and pay my internet bill, because that's due today. It's probably due tomorrow, but I'll pay it tonight. And then I'll work on paying my water bill. I'll get that. It's just a simple online situation. And then what'll happen is I will wait for everything else to pass through the account so that all the bills are out. I'll see what's left. And out of what's left, then I will begin to start putting things for the sinking funds. There should be some money left, but I'll start putting things for the sinking funds. And I'll probably start with the smallest ones, Amazon Prime, PureFlix. Those are $11 and $12, $13. So I'll start paying those little ones. And then I will pick and pull what's next based on what comes in. The best thing that I have thought about is whenever I get a deposit, because I generally tend to I can pay myself back for something I've already paid ahead for. So I would take a little bit of that and put towards sinking funds until the social media either picks up or I get a different job, or maybe I'll do a sponsored content or whatever the case is. Somebody would pay me to do a video. Right now, I'll get a lot of free products. Some people will offer you a paid sponsorship, but those are very hard to come by or rare for me at the moment. And then even if they do offer you like commission, it's only if somebody buys that thing. So if they don't buy it, I don't make anything, and I've already made the video, right? So it's like they don't pay you for your time sometimes, even though what they send you is nice. I only take things I need. Like I have a thing coming that's going to be really nice for Friendsgiving, and the only reason I got it is for Friendsgiving. But other than that, if you only make money if somebody else buys, and I don't really like to tax people with that type of thing. I'll share it. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't, oh well, moving on with life. It doesn't hinder here. Anywho, y'all, there it is. Those are all the numbers. That's everything that has came up to this point. We have a little bit more that we need to do. I need to send Trandon the phone bill money, just so that's already paid and out of the way. I'll do it tomorrow. I have time for that. I'll do it tomorrow, because I have some other money in that CashApp that I need to do something else. I need to send something to somebody else. All right. And I don't like to intermingle monies. So I have some money in there that I need to get out of that account. And so once I get that out of the account, I'll be able to pay the phone bill. Anywho, y'all, there it is. That's the budget. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Here's the thing you can do to help me out. If you like the video, thumb it up. Don't forget to do that. There's 50 people watching. If I could have 50 thumbs, that would be very good. Whether it's up or down, that's up to you. But all the thumbs help us. This is generally the time when people are at home, according to my analytics. So I don't always like to do late videos, but this is a good time, according to the analytics, that is good for people. So anywho, y'all, I got to go. We just did a jam sesh. My jam looks great. I'm hoping all my lids seal. So I got to go and check on those. Gracie is over here snoring. It's her birthday. So she is having her little birthday snooze. But anywho, there it is. Thank y'all again for stopping by. Y'all have the best evening on purpose, and we will see you guys next time.